What's up, Yang Gang? Hey, Rogers, I hope you're still in here, brother. Um, we know that you don't get to watch a lot of these live streams because of the time difference, and we appreciate you being one of our patrons and just being an awesome individual all the way around. Shout outs to everybody who is already in here. Make sure that you like it. Make sure that you tweet it out, get it out, tell your grandma to come and watch.
Today we're talking about.
Yes.
So everyone knows our agenda here.
Our
We're talking
agenda.
about.
We got an agenda.
Andrew Yang. You may have already heard the news. What else are we talking about? We're talking about the next stimulus. We're talking about Yang Speaks.
Yes. All of this stuff. We are talking about
that C word a little bit.
That won't be named. And we're going to talk.
Demonetization word.
We are going to talk about Andrew Yang winning his lawsuit against New York. Congratulations to Andrew Yang and the Yang Gang in New York. That's a big victory. And that Jonathan Herzog was a part of that. And we won, y'all. We won.
So we're going to get into that in a little bit about that.
Yes,
that's very exciting.
We'll get into that too.
Sorry to y'all that may have showed up around 3 o'clock when this stream was originally set for.
Wasn't our fault.
We lost our internet. We don't know what happened.
We paid the bill
all day.
I promise we paid the bill.
Did.
I think we paid the bill. Did we pay the bill?
I'm pretty sure we did. But they did get it fixed, and we have internet now, obviously. But that's why we pushed it back 2 hours, because I think it came back.
But hopefully that means that Craig Rogers can watch the stream.
Yeah.
But the first thing I want to get into is the Yang Gang hang last night.
Yes.
Shout outs to everybody who was at the Yang Gang hang.
They're calling them Humanity Hangs. Put on by Humanity Forward, so it's really fun
really
stuff,
cool. You've got to make sure that you get on Twitter and follow Andrew Yang to make sure that you get those notifications whenever he tweets out about when they're.
I don't know. It might be Humanity Forward that tweets it out. I can't remember, but.
But I got a bone to pick.
Oh gosh. Who we picking bones with?
I'm picking bones with Eric Sanchez.
Oh God. Eric
Sanchez, you ghosted us, and I'm not happy about it. I mean, I don't get to talk to you face to face very much, but you know what? I think I'm just gonna reach out and have him on the show.
Let's do that.
Let's definitely do that. But he didn't quite make it around to all the rooms last night, and he ended up dipping. I think he was hungry or something. He had to go get some barbecue. But Eric Sanchez, shout out to you for taking the time out to do that last night. And most everybody that got to see, we've talked to you before plenty of times, but a lot of people had never gotten to even meet you, and that was their first time. So that was really, really cool. Really, really cool. Now, what do you want to get into? You want to get into meat.
Meat?
We're experiencing a supply chain lapse, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
And 1/5 of their stores don't have hamburgers.
No hamburgers.
No hamburgers. Now, I don't know about you, but I love a Wendy's triple cheeseburger.
That's too much burger for me. Ugh.
And the fact that you are Wendy's and you're having to pull beef from your menu, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
And I also noticed that there was a lot of stores who are starting to limit the amount of meat that customers can buy.
Meat shortage time. I don't mean go stock up like a crazy person right now. Leave some for everybody, but you do want to get enough to
to the 18, 19 people who are watching right now, go stock up on some meat.
Quick, before the other people get in here and hear the news.
It's not like 20 million people are going to see us. So to every one of y'all that watch this video, go stock up on your shit. Make sure that you are stocked up.
Get your meat.
Get your meat. Get your toilet paper, whatever it is that you need.
We couldn't even get toilet paper the other day. The store was out again.
That's crazy.
And flour. We're having a flour shortage apparently because everyone's baking more. What? And they're saying that Lysol wipes or disinfectant wipes and the sprays, anything of the sort, will not be back in stock for many more months. How am I supposed to sanitize my groceries? That's what I ran about, sanitizing my groceries.
Von Dormo says, Andrew just gave us permission to vote him after winning the lawsuit.
That's
we
right.
are not the Biden gang or the Trump gang. We are the Yang gang. Still voting for Yang, for sure.
And thank you.
For sure. And thank you for that super chat. Shout outs to you. It's very much appreciated. We got big things on the horizon for this channel. And like, man, it's getting very, very exciting.
It's getting exciting.
We have got an episode coming up with Dan from Montana. He's running for Congress.
From
And
Montana.
We're going to talk about human trafficking on that episode of the JR Light podcast. And that's going to be an intense episode. I think they were talking about, like, it was the 5th largest in terms of human trafficking in the United States. That's crazy.
It's scary.
That's scary as AF.
Scary as AF.
Man, if you that's an awful thing, and you know, I know a lot of people, they like to get on me or whatever about this, the where we go one, we go all, but that's what part of this is about, is this battle against human trafficking. And that's something that I care very much about, because no human being should ever be put in a situation that's so horrible. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine. It just, just to even think about that. It's horrible. If you got kids, bruh, that shit'll get you. Thinking about that will get to you. And to have that as the 5th largest in the United States, something's got to give there. What's going on? That place has got to get cleaned up, for sure. Now I'm gonna try to get myself together when Mama eats a turkey leg for a second.
All I got's coffee right now. Oh, but yesterday, y'all, I did make some peanut butter no bakes because we accidentally got.
You go from human trafficking to peanut butter. Only you can do that. Only you can do that.
You said turkey leg, I go to food. So we accidentally got someone else's mail yesterday. It was a huge box full of just like laundry detergent, which we needed.
The universe blessed us yesterday. The universe blessed the broke folk. For
some oats, which exploded all over the box, but there was still some left in the container. But I called Amazon and I was like, this is not my package. They were like, just go ahead and keep it and we'll give you a $20 refund for the stuff that you ordered since it went to somebody else. So,
Win,
that was
what?
Really awesome.
Free no bakes, basically. That meant free no bakes, peanut butter no bakes.
As soon as I got those oats in the house, I started making no bakes.
And we was just about out of washing powders.
Mm-hmm.
And
washing powders. We don't use powder. Who uses powder anymore? It's liquid. But anyways,
when you're from the country, that's just what you say. You say washing powders. It don't matter if it's liquid or
it's washing powder. It's some washing powders.
Washing powder. Nobody else says that.
No, that's definitely a southern thing. Anybody else say washing powders?
I guess I'm true to my roots for sure. But yeah, we got that washing. That was great. And we got garlic mustard in there.
Some garlic mustard.
Man, that was good.
I'm sure y'all don't really care about it, but I really want to talk about Andrew Yang and the lawsuit and all of this good stuff real quick.
Let's do it.
So, as y'all may know, and since we already said, he won the lawsuit, and the New York primary is going on. It is on again.
Did you see Craig Rogers? Hold on, Craig. I'm sorry, I did not mean to derail you, but Craig Rogers, let me tell you something. I do just as much laundry as anybody else. I am very domesticated. I'll have you know, sir. But thank you for joining in the conversation.
He cooks, he cleans, he does laundry. He actually does more laundry than I do.
Oh, what now, Craig Rogers?
Don't get a big head or anything. And he does the cooking, I do the dishwashing. Because I do baking, I don't do cooking. And since there's no flour in the house, can't really bake that much. So I just don't make food.
That is so lame. Listen.
I make ramen.
It's a wonder people even want to watch this show for some of the stuff we talk
Why
about.
do y'all watch this?
But
thank you, James Abrams. What's up, Yang Gang?
if it's left up to Mama Yang Gang, she's making a ramen noodle soup every freaking day. We've got some groceries here.
I'm reading
This she could.
How's everybody doing? What's up, grassroots? Yeah, Yang won that lawsuit. That's what's up. I've been trying to get on a live. Yay! We're glad you're here.
Well, we are
And
glad
thank
you're
you.
here, James Abrams. Wait. Yeah, that's the look at that little tiny thumbnail right there. That's the James Abrams that is in the it's been on Voices channel for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, James. Shout out to you. I'm glad you could finally make one of the live streams. It's a blessing to us when people decide to show up, because sometimes we don't even talk and make sense.
We can't stay on one topic for long, and we go to so many topics, so we cover a lot of good stuff.
But like, if you were just to like try to timestamp one of our videos, it's almost impossible, because we just kind of just go with the flow. But I like it that way, because I like that loose format where you can just kind of just jump from one topic to another.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not that anybody cares about our peanut butter no bakes, but
I mean, I'll send you
they're
some if
good.
you want. They're really good.
they're definitely good.
I've got more than I can eat. And I only made a
And
half
that's
batch.
saying something. That's saying something, because let me tell you, she can eat. That's all she thinks about is eating. It's great.
I love food. Good food. I love good food. If it's not good food, I'm not gonna eat.
Look, look. Let me tell you something about her. She is the person. Like, if she's sitting at the dinner table, she's gonna sample something off of everybody's plate before it's over. She's gonna be like, "Oh, that looks so good. Oh, would you like about? Yeah, would you mind?" And she's just like, I'm telling you, it's crazy, y'all.
Because if everybody has something different and it's something I never tried before, I want to try it. I have to try it. I share my food too.
Am I not cold? No, hell no.
See
I'm
this
not
scarf
cold.
right here? You don't need arms.
I don't. That's right. Hey, I'm telling you, man, a scarf is like the most underrated piece of clothing that I think you could have, accessory wise. Because like when it's cold outside, all you gotta do is throw that scarf up around your neck, and it just keeps.
Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly. The comment. Somebody's singing peanut butter jelly time.
Oh my gosh.
In a
Can we
big
get on the
format.
same page, please?
Yes, we're back to Andrew Yang talking.
And this lawsuit. And this is a huge win, because what they tried to do in New York City, timestamp this one.
New York
Timestamp
State,
this
the whole
video.
state.
Yeah, what they tried to do was undermine democracy. And this was it's not just a big win for Andrew Yang, but it's also a big win for Bernie Sanders too.
He jumped in on that lawsuit too.
Yeah. So, I mean, there was a lot of camps that won, and that is Craig Rogers said that is a win for democracy. It's absolutely a win for democracy. And they tried to undermine it, and I just like, how are you? Like, who made that decision? Like, seriously, who made that decision?
Was it the governor? The governor.
The governor.
I think it was.
Yeah,
Cuomo. I'm pretty sure. I think.
Cuomo.
Was it Cuomo, y'all?
I don't know. If it was Cuomo, I've got my suspicions about that. But we'll talk about that another time. Because to me,
he wants to run for president.
No, he's part of the deep state.
Oh, that's right.
As far as I'm concerned.
James, thank you.
James Abrams, shout out to you. He said, I like roasted ramen noodles and hot dogs. And it's cool. And yeah, I become more active after Yang dropped out. And yeah, I like your videos. Don't like watching people acting fake. And that's why I stick to my Yang Gang channels. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much for that. For just that comment, it means a lot to us. Because if there's one thing that we know, I can't stand a fake person.
Yeah.
I can't. I've dealt with so many fake people in my life. Some little Yang Gang is peeking. Oh,
Here you go.
he gave me my old broke phone with Marilyn Monroe's picture.
Yeah.
Thank you, little Yang Gang.
The screen is.
I just can't stand fake. And that's what I think irritates me so much about politicians. 90% of the politicians you meet are fake AF. I can't stand it. Oh my gosh. Elizabeth Warren, you are so fake. What?
No, I just think it's funny how lately you're getting into this whole something AF. Like, I'm just AF.
Because I'm trying not to get demonetized. Because it seems like every damn video we put out gets yellowed.
I just think it's funny how.
I'm not trying to be hip. I'm just trying to avoid so many F-bombs coming out of my mouth, and that's not being fake. I'm trying to protect the kids at home, y'all. I'm trying to protect the kids at home.
And the monetization, obviously.
Obviously not my kid, because he'll drop an F-bomb in a minute. But I don't care. I don't put those.
You are hip.
I don't. What?
You are hip. You don't have to try to be hip.
I am not hip.
You are hip.
I am like the most unhip person that there is.
What does hip define hip?
But hip is like Childish Gambino. He's pretty hip. Like me, I'm not hip. Have you seen the way he dances with his belly out sometimes? I don't know, it's crazy. Childish Gambino's nuts.
And Yang Gang.
And Yang Gang. For sure. I don't know. Anyway, yes, James, I guess my whole point was that I can't stand fake people, and that's why I have a problem with most politicians. Because, and oh my gosh. All right, so we're going to talk about the stimulus for a second.
Let's talk about the next stimulus. CARES Act number 2.
CARES Act number 2. It will be brought to the floor within 2 days by the lead Democrats. Not any underlings. These are the top Democrats. And I just don't hold out much hope, y'all. As somebody coming from the conservative side and seeing just the bullshit over there that we have to deal with, but coming over here, it is corrupt. Oh my gosh, it's corrupt on the Democratic side. And I don't have any hope that the Democrats are going to have enough power to get any kind of like universal basic income through. I just don't see them having that power.
And y'all.
And maybe some of y'all disagree with me. But
besides that, listen to me real quick, okay? As you know, Republicans are still saying, we do not want UBI, we don't want UBI, we don't want UBI. They want to get people back to work. And if they're going to give people money, they want to do things like payroll tax cuts or another one-time stimulus. They absolutely do not want UBI.
Because it's become oh my gosh, it's because it's become a Democratic, it's become a partisan issue.
Yeah, when it shouldn't have.
When it shouldn't have. It should have been bipartisan. But because the Democrats proposed it, now the Republicans are going to be nope.
You can't have that. Because they know, like the guy we listened to earlier, they know if a UBI gets instituted, they will never be able to take it away. People will like it too much, and they will need to keep it, and there's no way it would ever be taken back away.
Oh my gosh, why the hell would you want a freedom dividend? My gracious, why would you not want to go back to your soul-crushing job every freaking day? Hate getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning before the sun rises to drive an hour and a half to a machine shop that's fucking dirty as.
You're salty.
I mean, it's the truth. Yeah. Like, why would you ever want to be in a situation or be subject yourself? Life is way too damn short for that.
And besides that, not everyone's going to be getting hired back. Not even it's going to take months to get people back to work. But companies aren't going to hire every single employee that they had back. It's not going to happen. It just can't. It's not feasible. They realize they can work with a lot less people. So most of y'all, if you lost your job, will not be getting the same job back. So that's just the facts. And we need UBI. And the Republicans are being stupid about it. And I don't want to be pessimistic, but I don't think UBI is going to happen. We got to keep fighting for it, keep contacting your Congress people, but
that's bigger. And the part of that, sorry, but part of that reason is because the Democrats in every freaking bill, and this is both sides, it's not just the Democrats, but they try to stuff everything that every god-awful fucking policy in there and try to get it passed. And it's so frustrating and that's how all these bills are, man. Can we just put a...
Yeah.
Why is it so hard to make a one-page bill that says, my God, can we help people? Here.
Can we help people? That's it. That's all it needs to say.
But these mother hunchers up in Washington, they ain't worth a hoopy jack. They are the worst, out of touch. Oh my gosh, they are so out of touch with the broke folk vote.
Those forkers. Okay. Did you get that out of your system?
No, it's not out of my system because it pisses me off. And the problem is you can't do a blanket like we replace everybody all at one time, because that's not how it works. Because if you did that, then you'd have a bunch of people up there like me who wouldn't know what the hell that they're doing. You know, so you have to have some veterans in there. You have to. That's just the way it is. Okay, it's like football, right? You don't just go fill your whole team full of rookies in the NFL. You can't do it. You gotta have a good mix of veterans and young people, right? So, but what we have to do is we have to get the worst ones out of there, right? Let's get the worst ones out. And like, let's see if we can kind of filter in a bunch of new blood, you know? And I think that that's going to be why it's so important for people to get out and vote for like Jermaine Johnson in South Carolina. If you're in South Carolina and you watching this and you are not out there in that district and voting for Jermaine Johnson, what is wrong with you?
James, shout outs to James.
Hold on.
You gotta finish your thought. Okay.
I gotta finish before I lose my words. And that's why it's so important and why it was so great to see Humanity Forward endorse David Kim out in California.
And
Heidi Briones. And that is so awesome, man, to see this. We've got to get these, and this is why it's so important for people like me when I run against Peter Welch starting next year. And why it's so important for Dan in Montana, right? Because we're running as Republicans. Yeah, Daddy, we're running as Republicans so that we can get over there on the Republican side and get some people over there that want UBI. Because there's not a whole lot of them over there. The dude in I don't think he's running as a Republican now. The guy Scott Sanders is with. I think he might be a Democrat. Maybe he's a Republican. Anyway, but yeah, so these are awesome endorsements. Okay, and we got to start filtering these. Sorry, I'm not trying to be ageist, but these people who don't even know how to use the internet, get them the hell out of there. They don't need to be in there.
They're not in touch with us normal people.
They're not. And I'm going to let you get to the super chat real quick, but I want to talk about that for a second. I want to talk about that. James Abrams says, fake as Warren and the rest, fake ass Warren and the rest, seen what they were saying, wasn't like they changed their minds so dang fast. Only people that stayed on point is Yang and Bernie. I wish he had took UBI. Bernie would be winning the federal jobs guarantee. Is paid different. Could have had both. Absolutely. You could have had both. And at a time like this, especially at a time like this, when people need to get back to work, a federal jobs guarantee is not it's not a bad idea. You know, it's not a bad idea. It would help a lot of people who desperately need it. And UBI with a federal jobs guarantee, that would have been great to be able to get both of those policies passed. You know, and it's true that Bernie and I see more and more. This is what pisses me off about this are politicians, right? So like this whole time, you know, all these politicians are anti-UBI. Now Andrew's dropped out, and everybody starts talking about UBI, talking about UBI, talking about UBI. Now everybody's starting to be pro UBI, pro UBI, pro. And it just frustrates me because I'm like, why didn't y'all just listen to Andrew to start with? It would have been just so much easier on all of us if you would have just listened to Andrew Yang to start with.
I love seeing the tweets though from big names, and they're like, I was never a pro UBI or a Yang supporter, but I do have to say, okay, Yang was right. We need UBI. It's like, yes.
That's something that was really awesome. Andrew was on Tom Billio. I don't know if anybody knows who that is, but he's very much a motivational speaker.
Google.
He's awesome. Impact theory is his thing. And this guy is like the ultimate. It doesn't matter. I am gonna rely on myself. I will pick myself up by my bootstraps, and I will succeed regardless of what you throw in front of me. That's the way this guy is geared. I mean, he's just mentally there, and there's very few people who are geared like him. Mm-hmm. And Andrew went on this show, right? And they talk, and one of the things that I love about that show is he's so open. Mm-hmm. And so thoughtful. He's a very, very thoughtful guy. And you can see as he's sitting there, he's thinking about these things that Andrew is saying. And he was not pro UBI. He was not pro universal basic income. And by the end of the show, just him talking to Andrew and Andrew kind of taking his hand and like walking him through why we need a universal basic income and this transformation in society that's taking place, and now it's only going to be accelerated because of the Roni. You know, by the end of the show, you could see him he completely changed his stance on it. And he was like, you know what? There is a place for what I think and the way I believe, you know, as far as pulling yourself up by your bootstraps and not letting anything stop you. But I see why all these people are being left behind and they're not being given an opportunity to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Mm-hmm. It's a whole lot easier to pull yourself up by the bootstraps when you got some fucking straps. You know what I'm saying?
Some boots. You gotta have
it's hard as hell to pull yourself up by your bootstraps when you ain't got no bootstraps. My bootstraps fell off. Look, they're like them shoes. Like when you drive through the hood, you know, and you used to see the shoes they were throwing over the power lines and stuff hanging there. And you didn't want to be that dude who lost your shoes. You got your shoes thrown up on the power line. I had it happen once. Just once though. I only took my shoes once.
I prefer shoes with Velcro. I'm just kidding. I can tie shoes. James is back again.
James is back again. Shout out to you, James. You've been a rock star today, dude, with the super chats. We very much appreciate it too.
Grassroots talking and making sense. Dude, I'm writing in Yang. Biden needs to stop emailing me. And yes, Biden sucks on the internet. It hurts to watch him get over 300 emails. Leave me alone. Yeah,
it's awful.
I don't get any from him.
And it's so funny because, like, I get notifications nearly every day from the DNC.
Oh gosh, right?
And the Democrats, and they're like, "Hey, can you throw us a few bones?" And I'm like, "Nope."
No, I'm gonna go to Humanity Forward and order those cool masks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you seen those masks at Humanity Forward? Go get you some masks. If you can afford to get you a couple masks, get you a couple masks. They are not going to help you as far as like the.
But it's not going to keep you from getting Roni, but.
No, it's not. But they are really cool looking. Really, really cool looking. But you know, look, I'm sitting here thinking about, you know, we were talking about how old like these people are who are in power, right? These people spend their every day bitching back and forth at each other, playing politics, right? All the meanwhile, you've got these smart mugs out here like Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and they're developing, and Zuckerberg, right?
Mm-hmm.
All these Silicon Valley people who are advancing technology at such a rapid rate, right? That it's leaving everybody in this country behind as far as automation is concerned. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Automation is just the tip of the iceberg.
Mm-hmm.
And you got those people in Washington who are still using beepers.
Who remembers beepers?
Somebody out there is old enough to remember beepers. But that's just the difference in like the technology that we have out here today and like what they're used to seeing. Like these people can barely use freaking Twitter. They got people that run their accounts.
Mm-hmm. Granted, it took me several weeks to learn how to use Twitter. So, I mean, it did. I didn't understand the hashtags. I didn't understand like why it had to be less than. It was super confusing. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing, and why when I comment on something, I'm like, what is this?
Twitter's like the easiest format.
It is now, yeah. But at first, it took me some time to get used to it. I was used to like Facebook, which now I never use because I hate it, and I'm just a Twitter person now. But at first, yeah, it was confusing.
Hashtags are nothing more than parking spots.
I know. You've explained it to me.
And every time you put a hashtag word,
I know now.
it parks it under that parking spot.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's so easy.
I understand it now.
Okay.
I didn't when I started. I said.
Well, I mean, for those out there who may not be familiar with
Right.
Twitter, but Twitter is so easy. Twitter is so easy to use. People don't get followers and stuff on Twitter because they're not using their hash browns right. If they would just use their hash browns right, it's simple. It's simple. So anyway, the point of that was technology is just leaving them behind.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't even know. It's almost like, think about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I at one point in time, I had to be around people who had been incarcerated for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
And when you have somebody who spends all those years in prison, and then they get out, that's why there's a lot of, especially older people who've been down for a long time, that's why they recommit offenses, because they don't know how to live in this world. This world has left them behind. And it's very frightening for them. And so they recommit crime sometimes. But that same concept is where we are at with our people who are in Congress and in the Senate.
It's like they've been in jail, in a nice fancy one, of course. For
a nice
years and
fancy
years.
jail.
Yeah. They don't understand the outside
Called
world.
Washington, D.C.
Right, right.
But it's the same principle. They're so out of touch with what's going on. It's no wonder these companies are taking such advantage of the government. It's no wonder it's now these companies who control the government. Why wouldn't those companies control the government when the government doesn't even know what's going on in the companies that are controlling them?
Mm-hmm.
That is a very, very sobering thought for anybody who is watching right now. That is scary. Oh my God! And this is a great play into American dystopia. You know, where do we go from here?
We must turn this dystopia into a utopia. Sorry, I heard shouts from them. We just gotta keep fighting for humanity first. We definitely gotta get some UBI. That would make a,
I mean, why
we gotta get rid of Congress as it is right now.
Why are we even fighting for humanity first when we're all gonna be part of the Borg anyway? We're all gonna merge with AI. Why are we even fighting for humanity?
I mean, y'all have seen Black Mirror, right? That's our future.
We will not go the route of Skynet. I promise you, we will fight. We will fight it every step of the way.
I want to break some news.
I will go John Connor on your ass.
I don't know if I'm breaking it. I don't know if it's
Breaking news.
But this is very important news to me, and I think it's awesome. So y'all know Yang Speaks, the podcast.
Yes.
Tomorrow, Yang Speaks with Crystal Ball. What?
That's gonna drop.
Is that exciting to y'all as it is to me?
It is to me because one thing that I've come to find out about the media is there are very few outlets that are actually fighting for people like me and people like you and people like everybody we know, the bro folk vote. And that's the Hill. Sager and Cristobal are two of the coolest people in media that I've ever seen. And I don't, and that's high praise coming from me. Mm-hmm. I think that they're very on point with a lot of what they say and a lot of what, even, I mean, I don't even care, you know, it's like they were so upset because it's a very Bernie centric. They're Bernie supporters.
But Cristobal was totally Yang Gang at one point, right?
Kind of, she gave you that feeling, yeah. But in the end, they both decided to support Bernie. Mm-hmm. But it's like they don't let their viewpoints as far as like politics interfere with them reporting on the news. That's what I find so refreshing about it. They call a spade, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing, if they're gonna call you out. And Sager had a really awesome breakdown this morning about the Republicans and how we are about to get screwed again as American people, and it frustrates me so bad, you know, because what's gonna end up happening is there's this balance that you gotta have, right? Mm-hmm. Republicans want to rush the reopening. Democrats want to drag their heels on reopening for as long as possible. Because the longer that they keep everything locked down, the worse Trump looks on the economy, right? It's a fact. The Democrats
are I don't know.
Chuckling with glee every day that this lockdown is happening.
Here's how I look at it. My point of view. In this instance, the Democrats are right. I don't know how to say it. We don't really need to be shut down, but if Americans had enough sense to stay at home until this passes, we'd be great. But we have to have stay-at-home orders so people will do that. So almost all states are lifting some restrictions now.
Even Vermont.
This is going to make Trump look worse, not keeping everybody at home, because of the fact that if people do start going out and about and socializing and going everywhere and not wearing masks and all this stuff, there's going to be a second larger wave, and that's going to make Trump look worse, not better. So that's my theory, because now they have doubled the death projections from this virus. Like currently we're sitting at over 72,000 deaths.
How much does that say about what you're doing though? The fact that the people went back and were like, oh, fuck, we got to redo these models now.
No, the reason they changed the models is they said this is assuming people lighten the restrictions, people start hanging out again, people start going out to eat in restaurants again. This is the total death toll by August. So they took that into account. That's why their model changed. So,
which one of you out there who is watching right now is willing to be the tribute? Not me. I am not going to a restaurant.
I'm not going. I'm really. It's going to be a while before we actually go back and be in public.
But dude, all right. So
it's
check
tough,
this out.
but
okay. So like, well, the reason I was leaning in like that was because I was thinking about Mexican food and like how much we both love Mexican food. That's where we had our first date. We've been going to the same Mexican restaurant for years.
Until we moved up here, and they don't even have good Mexican food. Like,
oh my God, Vermont has the worst Mexican food on the planet. These people up here, they ain't never seen a Mexican. That's crazy. I'm not trying to be funny, but I mean, there's like no authenticity whatsoever with their Mexican food. It's like, man, bruh, I want to eat some Mexican food.
They don't even have like the white cheese dip that you get down in the South. That is so good.
I know, right? Who does not have cheese dip? Oh. What kind of Mexican restaurant does not have queso? That's like going to Taco Bell and them not having taco shells. Right? Who wants to go to Taco Bell and not have taco shells? That's crazy. James,
you are just on fire today, James.
James is a super chat god today.
Thank you.
James
so much.
said 5 super chats, 100% right. This is a flagged saying we
back in this ish.
Yeah. Yang Gang, I'm on the road trucker from Maryland. Please, New York, vote for Yang. And yeah, the Hill is cool. They cover Yang fair far more than the mainstream media. And Kyle. It's funny that you mentioned Kyle. And I'm assuming that you're talking about Kyle Kalinske. And it's weird because I'm about to sound country. I used to couldn't stand Kyle Kalinske. He used to, every time I would hear him, he would just like, I immediately just started thinking, oh my gosh. But I'm going to tell you something about Kyle Kalinske. Kyle Kalinske, and I'm coming from the conservative side, so it's very hard for me to say this, but Kyle Kalinske and myself, we see more eye to eye than I'd wanted to give credit for. He's changed a lot. I've noticed a big change in Kyle Kalinske. Mm-hmm. He went from no UBI person to, hey, you know what? UBI is probably a good idea. Yang was pretty smart when he said that. And Kyle Kalinske has been giving Yang a lot more fair coverage now than he was before.
True.
Because look, y'all. We're all human. We all evolve. We all grow as people. We all get better. And we all change our stance if we're smart. If we're open to learning and open to, finding out new things about ourselves. And that's what we have to have. I don't think the way that I thought when I was 20 years old.
Right, yeah. Me neither. If I still thought like I did when I was 20,
I'm a completely different person.
Trouble.
And there'd be a lot of people be in trouble, and I'd be one of them. I was awful when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
Some of the crazy stuff.
Like I thought I was so smart. I thought I was like genius level smart, and I think back and I'm like, why did I do some of the stupid crap that I did?
I don't know. Then you hear your kids try to be smart. You're like, bitch, shut up.
You're not as smart as you think you
You're
are.
not as smart as you think you are, bro. You are not pulling the wool over anybody's eyes. Lying like a 4-year-old.
So before we get into that, I want to do a little fun portion for y'all. Is there another topic you have on your little paper here that you want to cover?
I mean, has this show not been entertaining enough for people?
That's not
Have we not been entertaining people for the last 32 minutes?
Are you not entertained? No. Yes. It's been great. See,
wow,
42 people are enjoying this.
Absolutely.
Currently.
And shout outs to every one of y'all who is here today. We appreciate y'all. Maybe we should start doing our streams later in the day because it seems like more people come on later in the day.
Yeah,
so absolutely, we'll start doing it if y'all want to.
If y'all want. Whatever y'all want. We are here for y'all. Wait, comment. James, he's back.
James is back. James, look.
Oh my God.
You might need to buy yourself a cheeseburger, man. Hold up. He says,
I know the feeling. Same here. He thinks UBI over federal jobs guarantee or both. He thought Bernie should have took UBI and made him VP. He would have been winning. What does that say?
Dag you, Bernie.
Dag you, Bernie.
Dag you, Bernie.
That's true though. If he would have took Yang as VP and adopted UBI, yeah, there'd be no more Biden.
That's kind of what I was saying though. The part that irritates me so much was Bernie had that opportunity. He had the opportunity to say, and I don't, for as many crazy ass ideas as Bernie is for, like, how is universal basic income so outlandish that even Bernie Sanders?
I think it's just because he's stubborn. And he didn't want to be like, well, I'm copying off Yang's paper.
But that's just what I was saying about growing. If you are so set in your ways and you're so freaking crotchety that you are not willing to amend your viewpoint for something that's better, then it's time for you to go. Because you're obviously not serving the people anymore. You have become self-serving. You can't be self-serving and serve the people at the same time. And if you're a motherfucking politician in Washington, then you need to start serving the people. Because the people are going to call you. This is not over right now. This is not over. The people are just now starting to get back and are starting to get angry. And they think that people are angry now. Give it some time. Give it some time. Because as these companies stay shut down and they can't re-employ people and this economy goes to shit, There's going to be a lot of hungry people.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a lot of people who can't pay their bills. There's going to be a lot of people who can't buy clothes. There's going to be a lot of people who can't do a lot of things, buy medication, whatever it is. And as you keep hitting on each one of them hot buttons, eventually you're going to get burnt. Because you can only go so far. And that's why I kind of feel like this CARES package may be a little bit bigger than we all think.
It might be bigger than the last stimulus. But is it going to be UBI? That's highly unlikely.
It's not going to be UBI. There will be no UBI because
and it's sad.
The Republicans will not give on it. Now that it's become a Democrat-Republican issue.
Which is crazy because remember Andrew
Now
Yang
it's just a handout.
would always talk about how, you know, you talk to the Republican, like, are you really against giving people money? You know.
They are now.
Except unless it's not an ongoing thing. So we really got to figure out how.
But it's the same with the Democrats.
Andrew would know. If Andrew was in there, he could talk all those Republicans into voting for it. I guarantee you. If he was in there, talking to them face to face. Let's get that to happen. Somebody work your magic.
Well, you know that we are working on, there's a group of us who are working on speaking before Congress when they come back in session. And it's going to be through teleconferencing, of course, because we can't, you know, can't be around a bunch of old people.
Right, we got to protect them.
But we are going, you know, we are each allotted a certain amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And that time could be anywhere from 2 to 3 minutes, which is like the minimum, or it could be as long as 10 minutes. And we had a meeting yesterday, and they were asking me what I was going to say. And I said that, you know, I just started, and you know what? I told him, I said, I'm going to spend every minute that I have talking to I might better go last. Because, and they might better wear 2 pairs of breeches. Because I promise you, I'm going to burn the first pair off. I am coming with everything I got. If I only, in my entire life, I only get to speak in front of Congress for 10 minutes, I promise you, I'm going to let them know everything that I think. And it is not going to be pretty. It is not going to be pretty. They may just haul me out of their handcuffs, y'all.
You're going to be on the...
What?
How are they going to haul you out of handcuffs if you're on the phone?
Well, that's right. They may kick me off the Zoom call. I'm sitting there, look, in my head, I'm in front of Congress in my head. I'm sitting there in front of Congress. I just talked about being on the screen. But in my head, I'm standing up there at the pulpit, buddy, and I'm preaching. Oh, I'm bad, man.
You're so funny.
I'm so loud.
So, if you have any questions for us related to all of this or unrelated to all of this, put them in the chat now. We're going to answer some questions.
Yeah, get your questions in the chat now.
I also wanted to ask everybody about your thoughts on tattoos. Do you have tattoos? How many do you have? What are they of? Put that in the chat too. Why are you looking at me crazy?
Is this the fun thing that you was talking about? Talking about tattoos?
No, I think it's cool. I would love to hear everybody's tattoos.
We already did that episode one day.
No, we didn't.
We did the guess
No,
how
we
many
didn't.
tattoos we had episode.
That was a long time
James
ago.
said makes 0 sense. Bernie's ideas was way out there and UBI was even cheaper. Right? Right? It was so cheap. It was so much cheap. Oh my
Right.
gosh. Bernie didn't even know what kind of astronomical number he wanted to put on his package. Yang could have helped him with Medicare for all and the federal jobs guarantee. He's hard-headed. He is absolutely hard-headed.
Yes, Yang won his lawsuit.
If you're just tuning in, yes, Yang won his lawsuit against New York City. Congratulations to Andrew Yang, Jonathan Herzog, and the rest of the Yang gang in New York, who will now be able to practice democracy.
Yay,
The way
go
that that's
vote for
supposed to.
Yang if you're in New York.
For sure. Definitely vote for Yang.
And yes, he may be wearing this when he speaks in front of Congress. I don't know. I think he should dress up a little bit.
That's my shield. I pull this off when I get up there and start speaking. I smack it on my chest, and it just fucking starts blazing. And then that's why I use my superpowers. Y'all just don't even know yet. Don't even know. So
What were we doing work-wise prior to the lockdown? We were doing Andrew Yang coverage and...
Remember when we were talking about that, and I said we go into a soul-crushing job, and I was like the machine shop? I did not mean soul crushing if if my father-in-law is watching this, I used to work with him at the machine shop. The machine shop was not soul crushing. Soul crushing was where we were, to me, before we started our Andrew Yang channel.
Right. Everything was soul crushing.
We were both servers at the Olive Garden restaurant, and I don't know I can't, man. I can't.
It's weird. I had a serving drink.
I gotta fucking dress up like I'm about to go to church and be a walking billboard for $2.13 an hour. $2.13 an hour as a server. That's what you make plus tip plus whatever tips you make. That's after the tip out that you have to do.
Yeah, you gotta tip out those bussers.
To be a
walking bartender. Taxes will come out as well.
You are not about to tell me what to do for $2.13 an hour. Nope. You're not about to tell me what to do for $100 an hour.
I actually did it for a couple of years and
made good money because you're just naturally better at it.
Yeah.
You know?
I made pretty good money for.
And pretty.
Yeah, you gotta put on that makeup. That's how you get them tips. Yeah, never mind. I could start an entire channel on how to be a better server. If any of y'all are servers.
For sure, she was one of the best. Absolutely one of the best.
I was very good at it. Sometimes I got overwhelmed and broke down in tears. That happens. If you've ever been a server,
seen so many women cry in all my life.
If you've ever been a server, you know exactly how that is.
But it is stressful. People don't understand how stressful being a server, especially in a busy place, is. It's very, very stressful.
Everyone should do it at least once. They have to know what that's like. And you would think, well, you just got to take care of it. It can't be that hard.
Nah, bro.
Oh,
shit ain't like that.
There was one time where I walked out. I was in the weeds already, which means I was way behind. Like, this table needed this table. Like, all my tables needed a lot of different things. And there was no way I could get it all at one time and get it out in a timely manner, right? Because we had to, bag up our own bread, make our own
Especially in Olive Garden. You got endless salad, endless soup.
So the kitchen was way behind on this busy Saturday night. And my younger sister, North Carolina, she worked there as well. But this man and this woman, they were so nice too. Most people aren't that nice when their food's taking forever. And it took over 30 minutes, which is a really long time for people waiting for food, for his well-done steak and her entree.
It's his own fault for ordering a well-done steak.
And I'm rushing like crazy because I'm like, I gotta get this out, gotta do this. I'm so far behind. And I'm getting the food out. My sister's coming in the same door that I'm going out. We crashed into each other. That whole tray of food fell on the floor.
Oh, God.
I wanted to cry. And I was so mad at my sister. It wasn't her fault, but I was so mad at her at that time. I wanted to punch her in the face. But it was both of our fault. Neither one of us said going out or coming in. It was just, we were both just like, wha-bam. Of all the people to crash into. So I walk immediately over to the table. I don't clean up my mess or anything. And I walk over there and I'm like, guys, you know how you've been waiting forever for that food? I just dropped it on the floor. I was like, I am so sorry. And, they rushed it out. In less than 10 minutes, they made that steak and everything. They remade it and rushed it out for me. That was nice. Sometimes the kitchen was accommodating. Sometimes not so much. But
you know what, though? Well, you know what? Maybe one of y'all should have been hollering, coming out.
Yeah, I know, and I usually did. But
if y'all don't know what that means, you better holler that before you head out that door.
Yeah. I actually loved that job because of the fact that I determined how much I made by how good I was, even though, yes, there were some people that were like, here's $1 for all of your hard work. But
man, that
beside
pisses me off.
Oh,
man.
it's terrible.
Tip
your servers when you go back out to eat again.
And order steak and run you to slap to death and then leave $2 or $3
or nothing.
Fuck that and fuck you. Tip your servers. Servers work hard for their money, and we were making $2.13 an hour. Get over yourselves and tip your servers.
Yes, once everything's open again, obviously, and you feel comfortable going out.
Yeah.
Because right now there are no servers.
That's annoying.
Think about that. They don't have jobs anymore.
I heard Bernie Sanders wasn't a very good tipper.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Oh, I'd be so mad.
How the fuck are you going to be Bernie Sanders and like not tip? That's just crazy to me. You know
Someone
what?
gave me $100 tip one time. That was awesome. It was just a little old couple.
And but those days are rare.
Yeah, those are rare,
it is much more common to get $1 tips or whatever.
Change. I literally, okay, one more short story. These two people ran me to death. I was getting ready to close up, leave, you know, and at that time you're like exhausted because you've been on your feet for 8 hours straight, no sitting down, there's no breaks. There's no such thing as breaks in the restaurant industry.
You don't get no breaks.
It's not illegal either, but no, you don't get breaks. So I finished taking care of them, and their check was something like $74.20-something. And they gave me $75. And I'm like, what do I do here? They're still sitting there. Are they really waiting on their change? So I brought back their 78 cents and put it in the book and put it on the table. And they finally get up and leave. I come back and pick up the book. The 3 quarters were gone, and the 3 pennies were still in there. I was like, you really just gave me 3 cents? Oh, I was so mad.
Gosh,
the last table of the night. Because you still have to tip out on that bill. You have to tip out a percentage of that $75.
Yeah, regardless of whether you made anything or not, you still tip out a percentage.
So I actually lost $5 waiting on that table and staying there till 10 o'clock instead of getting to go home at 9. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that sucked. But I really did love that job for the first year and a half I was there. I got burnt out. And you can tell when you get burnt out when you start like being a little nastier to people, like your coworkers and stuff. I couldn't. I thought I'd be able to do it forever, but I liked it. But
I made decent. Like my customers love me. But I just couldn't stand. I can't stand to be micromanaged. Just leave me the fuck alone. Let me do my job, and leave me alone. Let me do it the way I need to do it.
I always felt that way when a manager would come to me and be like, "You need to do better on your add-on sales right here," and I'm like,
"James,
I'm one of your best servers. Just let me."
James, the rock star of the day, has come in and said, "Maybe if Yang and Bernie do good, they jump back in. We need them right now. UBI." I don't really need it, but I want everybody to get it, and would love for my girlfriend to get paid for taking care of my kids and family and friends 100%. For sure, yeah. James, you that is so important, and that's kind of where we're at too. You know, like we could use it. Believe me, we could use UBI. It would be very, very beneficial, especially for us at this moment in time because we're independent media. But it's not about us, you know. It's not about us it's not really us that we're fighting for.
It's everybody else.
We're fighting because we know what it's like to be homeless. We were homeless when she was pregnant with little Yang Gang in a van. It's not because we wanted to be homeless. I promise you. You know. So it's it's something that's very near and dear to us. And we want to see those people get taken care of. We want to see the teachers get taken care of. We want to see the fucking burger flipper at McDonald's get taken care of. This is one of the most looked down upon jobs that there is. Why? Why is that so looked down upon to work at McDonald's? You know, it's crazy. Are they not fulfilling a service? Does your ass not go and order that Big Mac? Then why the fuck are you looking down on somebody that works at McDonald's? At least they got a motherfucking job.
You're using a lot of F-bombs again.
It's because I'm passionate about it. Because I'm passionate about people not being looked down on no matter their situation.
Right. Does that say JC Cat? Am I saying that right? Thank you. It says, love you guys. Yang Gang forever.
Thank you, JC. Appreciate you. Thank
you
so much.
Kim.
Michael Kim.
You're $5.
Thank you, Michael Kim. Look, I done got all my eyes.
I know, your eyes are leaking.
Something flew in it, man.
What was that? You're leaking awasomeness out of your eyes. Like, what's happening?
I can't, man. I don't know what it is. But it's just because we're so passionate about it. And that's what we're fighting for. And that's why we just get really, really upset when people, like, they don't even do the basic research on what universal basic income is or could mean to society. Something that could virtually eliminate poverty and create a renaissance in this country. But like, you're so stuck in your party lines that you're not even willing to do the research on it. And then you want to try to argue with somebody.
Right.
I mean, I promise you, if you put your ear close to my face, I'm probably gonna blow your eardrum out.
I just wanted to say that yes, most of the people that I worked with at Olive Garden were on benefits, like food stamps.
Yeah.
I was one of those people before they took my
Because
food
nobody
stamps,
can afford to live.
but I got help with childcare and stuff like through the state. But it was still like there's so many stipulations just to get that help with childcare, and you still have to pay a portion of it, which is a lot of money for somebody that's poor. And I made good tips, and I was still poor. Like I was in a very small studio apartment that was very cheap, you know, and it was still a struggle. And I'm frugal. I don't waste money.
And that's with both of us. And then we kind of got to this thing where like we wasn't getting any benefits from the state anymore. We weren't getting food stamps anymore. We weren't getting childcare anymore.
They're like, oh well, there's two of you, and you're making some money that's a little above.
And it's just like, are you kidding me? We're barely making it now, you know. And now you're telling us that we don't even qualify for these benefits anymore. So now guess what happens? Now we don't have someone to watch Little Yang Gang anymore. So now one of us has to stay home and watch Little Yang Gang.
It wasn't even worth it. Like the cost of it for both of us to be working, it still wasn't. It just wasn't worth it.
We couldn't cover childcare.
Especially since there was also no childcare on the weekends, so I had to pay a crazy amount to a babysitter. It wasn't a crazy amount, but
it's a lot for it's a lot when you don't have anything.
Yeah.
You know, and then. So you're not getting any help from the state. Now one of us has to stay home. Now we're struggling even worse because there's not two incomes coming in. I mean, it's horrible. It's horrible the things that you have to jump through with these social.
Yeah, get rid of those. Get UBI. Even if you have to make UBI even more per month to cover what certain cash benefits you do lose, but they're means tested. Like you constantly have to report everything. And then like one time when I was doing stuff by myself, you know, a while back, they gave me too much in food stamps at one point when I was doing everything by myself. And they told me I had to pay them back. They did eventually take it out of my tax check. Because they gave me too much food stamps when I was a poor single mom. You know? That was ridiculous.
That's crazy. Like, where are we
Oh,
at?
we gave you too much. We didn't know you made this much in this month.
You know what? I mean, if your government even remotely even cared about you, they'd be like, yeah, just fucking keep that shit. It's not like we miss it.
They don't care.
But to you, that makes this huge impact. You know? Because now you have even less money for groceries. It's just crazy where we are at in the society and how upside down and backwards it is. And I really believe that we're entering a new phase, though, in this country. Because I believe that a lot of, especially through events like with the
Roni. We're just going to call it Roni from now on until YouTube catches on, and then we'll call it something else.
People actually see how inept the government is and their representatives are at handling something like this and sees the disconnect that they actually have with the people. I think a lot of them are going to get voted out, and there's going to be a lot of fresh faces in Washington. And that's what we need to have happen. We need to phase out those dial-up internet people.
And beeper people. I honestly think it's the lighting in the camera because my teeth are not all that great, but I appreciate you. Yeah, they're actually pretty yellow from all the coffee I drink and stuff.
Why would you tell people you have yellow teeth if they just told you had nice, pretty shiny
Thank
teeth?
you.
You should have just shut up and took the compliment.
Well, I'm gonna be honest and I'm gonna be myself like I always am.
You could have a jacked up grill like mine.
So, I actually use most of the time just water. I'm not a fan of fluoride toothpaste. If I'm feeling froggy, I will use a charcoal toothpaste, but you don't want to use that too much. That's it. I don't have any special care routine, but I appreciate you. Thank you.
James says, we need Yang in the White House. As president, I'll take him as a VP because I know Yang has all the facts and data. They would be crazy not to use it. And that is something that you hit the nail on the head, James. I mean, I got into an argument with my landlord, right? Because we have gas here, and
You have gas? No wonder.
it's
I'm
propane
just
or
kidding.
whatever.
Yeah.
We have gas for the stove and whatnot.
And the hot water. I don't
And
know.
the hot
I've never
water.
heard of this before. Using a gas tank to heat your water? What? I'm so confused.
Anyway,
Okay.
so I had to use facts and data against him, and we ended up getting our tank out here, which was really awesome of him. Thank you for doing that and getting that tank out here. But I had to use facts and data against him. You know,
Data.
you can't come at somebody that, listen. I'm about to tell y'all have been here for an hour and 5 minutes and 40 seconds, but I'm about to tell y'all some
are
gold
awesome.
right here.
Here's the gold.
For the people that are here right now, here's the gold.
Well, I don't know if it's gold. Is it gonna be
Oh,
gold?
it's gold.
It's
You
gold?
already know it's gold because
already
you
know?
subscribe to the same philosophy. There are only two types of arguments.
Mm-hmm.
There is logical arguments and emotional arguments. And you will never, ever, ever, not in 100,000 million years, once an argument turns emotional, you will never win that argument. Never.
It should never be about winning anyway.
Emotions
Like,
cannot be reasoned with.
Yes, I
Okay.
know. Oh my gosh. Here's the logical arguer. This is the emotional arguer. If you're wondering,
Ah, what you know? Okay.
he's about to get emotional. Watch.
Now look, that's because you get my back up.
See?
Get my back
Emotional
up.
arguer.
Nah.
You
See,
cannot argue with an emotional
you
arguer.
can be
okay?
passionate and still have your facts and figures straight. You can still as long as your argument is rational and you're coming at it rationally, it doesn't matter how amped up you get. As long as you're still coming
No,
at it
that's
rationally.
emotion. That's emotion.
And
Well,
no, that's called being fueled by passion. That's what that's called. You see how arguments go down sometimes? Uh-huh. Because I
Because
am
I'm
passionate.
always in my right mind.
No, she. Two types of arguments: emotional and logical.
Keep emotion out of it. Use logic. Use really good communication with those around you, especially now that you're stuck in the house.
Use your
with people.
words. Use your words.
Use your words. That's what we tell
Use your words.
Lil Yang Gang all the time. Just use your words. He's in there having a ball. He is like
Speaking
jumping on
loud.
the bed and I don't know what.
Mama,
Yep.
we had a great show. It's very informative today. We hope that
We got
y'all
a mini
enjoyed it.
UBI from James and a couple others. A mini,
Yes.
yeah.
Thank you for all the super chats that have come in. It is very much appreciated. It helps us continue to do what we do. And it is an honor and a blessing to serve y'all and the fans of this channel. We love you so much. Thank you to our Patreons. If you want to join us over on Patreon, the links will be in the description below.
Once this uploads.
All the links that you need in the description. Share it out. We love you, Yang Gang. See you on the next one.
Hopefully soon.